This is COVID time, because of which problem arose. But other times, whenever they give CA final result, foundation or CPT result will come along with it. But this time we have to see, because they have got valuation to do, and you guys also have descriptive paper. So because of that, that issue might be there. But other than that, either with these two results, your result will also come. So either it will be with final results or it will be inter results. Normally final comes at the beginning, inter will come later. But ನೋಡುವ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದರೊಟ್ಟಿಗಂತೂ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಬರ್ತದೆ. So be ready with that. Maybe in the next 10-12 days your results can come out, max to max. If at all they say along with inter might come within February 4th or 5th is what everybody have predicted. ಅದರಗಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅಂತೂ ಫೈನಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬರುವ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಉಂಟು. ಸೊ ವೆನೆವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್, ಬಿ ರೆಡಿ. Okay, so today is going to be our last session when it comes to this course, and in connection to my topics and my session. So today is going to be the last session where we are going to meet together. Of course, we will be meeting others in the future. Whereby we have seen certain background effect, we have seen certain requirements, etc., about various elements of companies, company accounting, and all these business aspects. Today we will try to cover up some other stuff in connection to companies, some presentation stuff, some disclosure stuff, how disclosure is supposed to be made by the company, and all these things. Let's try to cover it up, and once we deal with that, we can move on with some other requirement, miscellaneous aspects, and all those stuff. Okay, so how is the things so far? Whatever you have attended, things has been done. Again, everybody are getting occupied only with classes now. I believe there is nothing else apart from your BCom classes, is it? Okay, fine, no issues. And everybody are going to college to learn now, or it is still under online mechanism itself? It's still online. Okay, fine, awesome, no issues. So how is the whole online? Few people are going to college, great. How is the whole online stuff going? Everyone have adapted, or it's tough? Great. So at certain stage, even online, you feel that it's tough. We can also understand, even while teaching as well, we feel it's tough. Yeah, CA coaching was online, which means everything else could be done. No issues, because over here you need utmost concentration to learn, which I totally agree. You need 100% concentration level when you learn anything in connection to CA. Otherwise, that issue will always be there. And I think I've been telling you this in my previous sessions as well, that getting the level of concentration is one of the very key aspects when you learn, or when you learn any professional course. Okay, try to get that level of concentration as much as possible. How can I do it? Only by practice. Start concentrating on the stuff. I'm not telling you that it should only be in connection to studies, anything. For example, say previous day your parents might have told you one information. Next day try to recall that information. Simple ones. ಆ ತರ ಇರುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, whatever work you do, you concentrate on the work you do. Otherwise, mechanical you do it, your mind will be somewhere else. You won't remember the mechanical stuff what you have done by the end of the day itself. Next day, hopefully, by the end of the day also you won't remember it. ಆ ತರ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. When you are studying, your brain should also be functioning in the same window. It should go in the same direction what you normally take up. So adrinda I am telling you that whenever you deal with these things, your brain has to work along with you. So antadannella ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಗಲೇ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. This age is the best for all those stuff. This age is literally best for all those stuff. I can tell you some examples about it. Okay, for example, you know there is something called as income tax, correct? We don't know exactly what is there inside the law, the stuff and all, but we have heard that there is something called as income tax. Sariyala? Now, income tax is one of the longest law in India. Okay, one of the, I'm not saying it is the longest, one of the, it's huge. There are so many section clauses, subclauses, provision, blah, blah, blah stuff. Somewhere like 298 sections are there in income tax law. Okay. There are few chartered accountants in our country, those people who teach, okay, because the ones who don't teach doesn't come in public radar. Or ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕಾಣುವಾಗಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. But the ones who teach obviously will meet students, student to student, ಎಲ್ಲ words ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ and all. There are few chartered accountants who teach taxes. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, they directly, and I'm telling you this is for teaching CA final people. ಬೇರೆ interally few of the sections are there. Final, each and every clause is there. Idi book untu when it comes to CA final. So they come to CA final class. They are supposed to take class now. Now what they do is they come empty-handed. Kaiyalli entadu irudilla. Okay, they directly come inside the classroom. They stand in front of the students. They talk like this. Some early talks they do. They directly ask the students what was the last section we dealt with. The student will tell, sir, e section last adadu. Then they directly start teaching without any book. They know the whole income tax by heart. Not just the law, they know rules, they know judicial pronouncement. There are so many things which is connected to law. They know each and everything. So a law, they know it by heart with the same language what is used in the Bear Act. Because you know, law language is a bit different compared to our layman language. They know it in the same language. They do their class without any book in hand. They directly just come in and start teaching. So think what might be the level in which they might have studied, their concentration level, and their skills to keep it in their memory. So everyone has got very good memory. There is no doubt about it. How do you store in memory always matter. So this is how these people actually work. And this is how beautiful it is, that how there are professionals who work something like this. Okay, so antadella iruvaga untala, this really feels good. So in the early ages itself, if you keep that knack, I'm not telling that everybody should by heart the law. I'm just telling you that how memory can work and how you guys can try to imbibe those things in memory. So memoryalli store madodu is not a bad thing. By heart madodu is a bad thing. If you store things in memory, then it's not bad thing at all. By hearting matte storing in memory alli difference untu. And you should understand that difference. So by hearting is the intention itself is to just remember and not do anything. Storing in memory is you understand it, you keep it in your hard drive of brain, and you will remember it for a very, very long time. So bringing those aspects in your day-to-day life actually do matter. Your parents, especially your mother, when she actually keeps budget for the home, where she keeps paying the expenses and all, she would remember yavadina, if at all anything will be put in, say there are people who supply milk and all, anta time alli she would remember before making the payment yavadina they did not supply, yavadina the amount cut madbeku, where was any problem. 1 month she knows everything. That is the way their memory works. Ide ನಾವು ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಆದದ್ದೇ ನೆನಪಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಬರೀಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹೋಯ್ತದೆ. So these are the way in which we are coming down, which we shouldn't. Our brain is also really good, provided we work on that. That normally we don't do. We remember which series ka which episode may that particular scene is there, that particular element is there, but we don't remember which book ka which page may which paragraph is there. This is just prioritizing stuff. Okay, try to prioritize it on the positives. Try to prioritize it on the things which matter rather than the ones which doesn't. So all these things will help you whenever you deal with in future. Okay, so coming back to what we were discussing, what we were trying to understand were things in relation to companies. So companies, we started learning that how does a company makes decision, where decision making is considered according to, what is the word we used in the previous session? Decision of a company is according to, perfect. Decision of a company is according to passing of a resolution. So if resolution is passed, a decision is taken by a company. So what type of resolution we found? What type of resolution we found? Board resolution, shareholder resolution. In shareholder resolution, ordinary and special. Perfect. So these were few types of resolutions which we checked. You will find others as well when you learn the company law, but these are the main ones. So if at all a decision is a normal decision, then ordinary is enough. If it is something which is extraordinary in nature, or if at all it is more serious, you take up special resolution. Then in board, if at all any decision to be taken, we call that as board resolution. Okay, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನೀಗ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ I will just add up one more point over here. I will just share the screen. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. When these decisions are taken, when can these decisions be taken, or where can these decisions be taken? So decision wise naven helidvi, we spoke about something called as resolution. In that, what did we say? We said that it is either board or it is shareholder, ordinary or special. Now you need a quorum, you need a place where all these things should be done, correct? Idakond jaga beku, and that is called as a meeting. Resolutions are passed in a meeting. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುವ. Resolutions are passed in a meeting. Okay, one of the meetings where board of directors can pass resolution, we called as board meeting. Okay, board will be joining together because directors will be in one place, not everybody might be in the same place, blah 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 stuff. So board meeting has to be convened, adakke notice kodtare, notice kottu day fix ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. All the board of directors will join together, they sit in a hall and they talk and they take decisions by passing resolution. Which resolution? Board resolution. Adanna ನಾವು board meeting ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. What about shareholder meeting? Because ordinary and special resolution will be passed in a shareholder meeting. Shareholder meeting are of two types. One is called as AGM, very famous one. Shareholder meeting ali one is called as AGM, second is called as EGM. There is an AGM, there is EGM. AGM stands for annual general meeting. EGM stands for extraordinary general meeting. So shareholder meeting will be of two types: annual general meeting, extraordinary general meeting. What do you mean by annual general meet? Annual general meeting are those meetings which is done on a year to year basis by the company, and having an AGM is compulsory. Having an AGM is compulsory for every company. Every company should and must have an AGM. You give notice to the shareholders, shareholders will attend the meeting. If at all a shareholder is not able to attend the meeting, for example, let's assume that our company has got 5,000 shareholders. Yallara address namma hatra untu, yallara email IDs kuda namma hatra untu. Nowadays everything is green. So therefore, normally the manege letter kalsuva badlu, they directly send an official email saying that we have our AGM on such and such date at such and such time. If at all you are a Reliance Jio user, some months ago they gave a notification saying that Reliance ka AGM will be conducted on such and such date. I don't know how many people have come across that. Banditala tara. If you are a Jio customer, ade one SMS bandittu saying that AGM of Reliance Industries Limited will be done on such and such date. Sorry. So ade riti, they have to give a notice in through official email ID. At that time, correct. At that time, they are supposed to attend. If at all the shareholders are not able to attend, then in their place, they appoint someone else called as proxy. Our now proxy anta karitave. Those people can go on behalf of the shareholder to the meeting and work accordingly. This is AGM. AGM ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತಹ main ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು? They will tell what major elements happened in the current year, in the year under review. They tell what major things have happened. Mainly, they finalize the financial statement. In the sense, they give that financial statement to shareholders, and if auditor requires anything specifically to be conveyed to the shareholder, auditor has to attend the meet and convey the information to the shareholders. So all these things will take place in AGM. This is an yearly aspect. Suppose if there is a need for a meeting not in AGM, someday else, no urgent decision tekollikuntu, you can't wait till AGM. Yes, need decision is supposed to be taken, you create a meeting. Adan now EGM anta kariteve. EGM is not compulsory, it is created because they want to take a specific decision. Assume that the auditor is doing some illegalities. Directors came to know about it. So directors told shareholders that let's remove this auditor. Auditor removal is the power to remove auditor is only in the hands of shareholders. So what they call an EGM. They discuss this, they remove the auditor. AGM tanaka wait madlike pursotilla. So all these things will be done in shareholder meeting, AGM and EGM. So these are the two types of shareholders meet which you have, which is supposed to be considered. Okay, normally AGM is something which works out, and this previous month and all were the months which where AGM is supposed to get conducted. Now ega corona bandirudrinda, because of COVID-19, the government has postponed the dates for creating AGM. Otherwise, what is the normal date? Whether you had this in your foundation, no. Normally, when an AGM is supposed to be conducted, it should be conducted within 6 months from end of financial year. Financial year end ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ 6 months. Okay, example, financial year is 2018-19. Financial year is 2018-19. Can you tell me what is the last date to conduct AGM? Exactly. It will be 30th September, not 31st September. September has only 30 days. So it will be 30th September 2019. That will be the last date to conduct an AGM. So AGM adrakkinta munchene conduct agirbeku. Normally you don't wait for the last day. Adrakkinta munchene conduct ಮಾಡಿ they should make sure that the shareholders know about it. ಈ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು you have to record it in writing. ಈಗ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು, each and every detail about a meeting has to be written, because adella evidence. If I am an auditor of that company, I can check them, or I should check them. Yava reeti meeting agide, ಏನ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, it's an evidence for me. If a decision is taken by board in some way, it's an evidence for me, and that is meetings. ಈ meetings ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರುವ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು we call that as minutes. So minutes are basically the details which is given or which is taken up in a meeting. ಇದನ್ನು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. Normally minutes are maintained by company secretary of that company. So company secretary ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, one of the work for a company secretary is to maintain minutes, is to give notices, and filing with ROC. All these job will be taken care by company secretary, where they should take care of the procedural aspects of the company. So this is how these meetings and the decisions taken up by the company and all will be covered up. ಸೊ ಇದು ಅವರ ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಮೀಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗೇನ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ರೂಲ್ ಉಂಟು. ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ minimum to minimum these many people should and must be there. I won't go too detail into it because you will learn that in later classes, that minimum to minimum these many people should and must be there. We call that in technical terms as quorum. Okay, we call that in technical terms as quorum. So quorum of a meeting should and must be there, otherwise meeting stands cancelled or postponed for one more week or something like that. So quorum irade you can't do anything. That is another requirement whenever you deal with the meeting. So just think about it now. You start a company, you have shareholders, you have got directors, day-to-day life decisions to be taken, then further it will be divided into managers, employees, blah 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 stuff, and the company keeps on running. As a CA, where do we enter? CA agi navelli enter agtave. Even that is also very important, correct? Now as a CA, when this particular year comes up, iga yen ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, when it comes to company, always remember maintaining books of accounts are compulsory for them. Ellarigu compulsory, but company law specifically mentions that maintaining books for them is compulsory. Number one. Second, it should and must be done under double entry system of bookkeeping, and they have to follow accrual concept. These are the three requirements which compulsorily a company has to follow: maintain books, double entry system, accrual concept. Adralli em ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Accrual concept ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What do you mean by accrual concept? When payment occurs, only at that time it is recorded. Record all expenses incurred and income earned, considering transaction which pertains to current year. Transactions are recorded when income and expense are earned or incurred, not when cash flow happen. Record all expenses incurred and income earned, not received. Okay, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳೋದು? Record when the event occurs instead of physical or instead of actual cash flow. Event occurrence basis alli, transaction occurrence basis alli recording will take place. Okay, receipt and payment does not matter. Very important concept actually, because majority of the people follow accrual system. Accordingly, entire books will be maintained, and it is compulsory for a company. They have to follow like this. Okay, now how to maintain the books of accounts? Is it compulsory to maintain manually in the books? No. Computerized accounting is also allowed. Okay, you have any dedicated software, it should make sure that all the necessary transactions are reflected. Adan nodkondre sir. Many people in smaller cities, they take up a software called as Tally. I don't know how many people have listened to that. They take up a software called as Tally. Okay, you are going to learn this software when you join ITT. You have got something called as ITT, information technology training. Over there they will teach you some basics of how Tally will be used. Some other people will directly use, there is something called as SAP anta now normally kariteve. There is a software called as SAP. Adanella now ERPs anta kariteve, enterprise resource planning. Over there this SAP will come. There is a software created by Oracle. So there are so many softwares which have come up now where the person will take up. No, Finacle is different. Finacle is a banking software. Finacle is a core banking software which is created by Infosys. Finacle is created by Infosys. FlexCube anta innondu untu. That is also a core banking software. Finacle is now used by majority. Vijaya Bank got merged, but all these banks use Finacle now Canara Bank follows FlexCube. There is software called as FlexCube. They follow that. SBI follows Bank Karke. There is a software. They follow that. There are different softwares available for banks as well. Other now core banking anta karitave. That's a totally different one compared to what you do it here. That's a totally different one. Okay. Because it is computerized, it's a huge thing nowadays. Okay. Data store agbeku, data security irbeku. There are so many things. You need servers to work. There are very good advantages when it comes to computerized mechanism. There are disadvantages also. That if at all you get something, you can directly get it. Now, if I have to give you an example, I'll give you a story. I told you that previously that I will tell a story, but in the last 2 sessions I couldn't. But I will now tell you a very small story. Okay. In one time, what happened is this happened somewhere in this happened some years ago. I don't exactly remember in which year, but this happened in NSE. There is something called as National Stock Exchange, correct? So this happened in NSE. Now the reason I'm specifying this is because NSE is one of the highly sophisticated stock exchanges in the world. NSE and now top 10 stock exchanges are consider marbo. It's that good. Okay, the mechanism, the control, the protocol, everything is really good. The system, everything is really very well done by that particular agency. But one time what happened is in NSE, and I hope everybody know that the market price and all, how does the stock exchange determines the market price of a share and all. Obviously, I've seen that scam 1992. You would know that. It totally depends upon demand and supply. Okay. So basically for a share, if there is demand, automatically price jasti ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. Correct. Harshad Mehta story. But ಈಗ ಅದು computerized ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅದು manual ಇತ್ತು. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು manually ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ price ನೀ ಅಷ್ಟ ಕೊಡು ಇಷ್ಟ ಕೊಡು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಈಗ everything runs through PCs, computers. But that is going to happen for sure. So basically ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಆ ಶೇರಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ people will ask for it, price increases. ಅದೇ ಹರ್ಷದ್ ಮೆಹತಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆದದಲ್ಲ. Why do people started telling if Harshad Mehta is choosing a stock, the price of the share increases? Because everyone will feel that Harshad Mehta has chosen a perfect stock. It is a stock to invest. Everybody will go there and try to invest in that stock. Automatically the price increases. The seller increases the prices. ಈ ತರ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಈಗ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅವರು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ದೇ ಕೀಪ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆದ ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗ ಸರ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಉಂಟು, ಈಗ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಉಂಟು, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರೈಸ್ಡ್. ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಸೋ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತು. Depending on that, okay, ಆ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Now one person came into this particular stock exchange, a broker. For him, I'll give you an example. I'm not telling you how exactly the numbers over here because I also don't remember much, but still I'll give you the overall effect. What happened is one person came in and he called his broker and said, buy Reliance Industries Limited ka shares. No, I don't exactly remember the name and it's not needed also. It's not a scam. It's a normal stuff. But see how problem will arise because there is computerized requirement. Okay. So one person called a broker and that person said, buy Reliance Industries Limited shares. All right. He said, I want rupees 1 lakh worth Reliance Industries shares. Rupees 1 lakh worth Reliance Industries shares are needed. Okay, let's assume that one Reliance Industries shares ka price is 1000. Actually ಬೇರೆ ಉಂಟು. Let's assume like this. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ how many shares this person is supposed to buy? Broker ಎಷ್ಟು shares buy ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Exactly 100 shares the broker has to buy. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ buy quantity ಅಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಹಾಕು. Price automatically, stock exchange price will only come 1000 ಹೇಳಿ. Payment arising is 1 lakh. the person will shift the money and it goes on. Okay. ಈ ಪುಣ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ, ಬೈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿಯೇ he wrote 1 lakh. In place of quantity itself, this person wrote 1 lakh. Price ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1000 ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 3, 6, 7. It's like 10 crore. Perfect. Because of this mistake, now check what might happen to stock price of Reliance Industries Limited. Somebody is ready to give 10 crore to buy 1 lakh shares. See the harighoitadra price. Yes, it will go up drastically. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಒಂದು ಶೇರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ, ಎಟ್ ಅ ಟೈಮ್ 1 lakh ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ಹೇಗೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ತರುವುದು ಯಾರು? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಬ್ರೋಕರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಮನಿ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್. ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನ್ ಆ ಬ್ರೋಕರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೀವ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಗೋಲ್ಮಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ವಿಡ್ರಾ ದಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಮನಿ. ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಮನಿ, ದೇ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಪ್. ಉಳಿದದನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದೇ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರಿಕವರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯು, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಆಗುದು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಮನಿ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ಮ. Since Reliance Industries Limited has so many shares, will it increase so much? Yes, it will increase. Reason being, total shares dealt with will be different, but one quote for 1 lakh is very high, Allah. In total, there might be crores of transaction which might have happened. I am not telling about that. Each person will give 10 shares buy, 100 share buy, ಹೆಚ್ಚಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 500 shares buy. ಇಂಥದ್ದು ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. At a time 1 lakh share buy at one quote, price has to change. So that is the difference. At that time it wasn't there. Limit and all, at that time they did not specify. System error. System alli adan define madirilla. Okay, even though the system was quite brilliant in that regard, this particular mechanism was not put in at that time. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಇಷ್ಟು ರೈಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. that broker got the signal now. ಎಂತ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದ್ದಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾಗಿ ಎಚ್ಚರ ಆಯ್ತು. then he cancelled that particular transaction. ಫೈನ್ ಏನೋ ಕಟ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ಇರಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ he cancelled that transaction. who will give 10 crore? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ ಪಾಪ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಅವರ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಕೊಡುದು 1 lakh ಮಾತ್ರ. he said that it is 1000 shares, 1000 rupees 100 share. now again the price drastically reduced because one quote got cancelled ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಡೇ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡುವವರಿಗೆ ಗಮ್ಮತ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ದಟ್ ಈ ತರ ಶಿಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅಗೇನ್ NSE sat and started reforming their system. So information technology, computers wise, it's really good, but sometimes it will give you this problem. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ, if there was a human intervention, ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಅವ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ನ, ನಿಂಗೆಂತ ಮಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ 1 lakh share ಬೇಕಾ? ಹಾ, you would have awakened at that time. You said ಇಲ್ಲ 1 lakh amount, ಹಾ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. System doesn't do it. System will never do it. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ATM is a very good example for that. ATM ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಪಿ ತಪ್ಪಿ ಅವರು ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪುಣ್ಯ. ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಇಡದೆ ತಪ್ಪಿ 10,000 ವಿಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 1 lakh ಅಂತ ಒತ್ತಿ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮೀ, ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 lakh ಬರುದು ಹೌದಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಅಸೈಡ್, ಇಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ who has 1 lakh balance in his bank account, what's going to happen? Obviously ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರುದು ಕಷ್ಟ, blah 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 stuff. Okay, ಮುಂದೆ there might be a situation where bank will directly give an order. ಆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇ ಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್. ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿನ who thought that we are going to do something with UPI codes? We never thought. QR code ಇಂದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ಥಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಸ್ವೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. Who thought that a QR code can help to pay? ಸೊ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಇಡದೆ ಈ ತರ ಬಂದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ then there is a problem. Human intervention idre that problem doesn't arise. But yes, these are advantages. There are advantages, there are disadvantages. Banking, for example, they have got a very good advantage that you can do any number of banking transactions during a day. And you can sit in any branch, do the work of any other branch, no problem. Say Syndicate Bank, I sit in Car Street branch, I can do anything in Bangalore, Delhi, Kashmir, anywhere. Because it is core banking, one bank, many branches system, where any branch can access any branch. Idella advantages. Munche adre ledger nodbekagtiತ್ತು physically. ಈಗ ಅದು ಏನು ಬೇಡ. Everything is easy. ಆದರೆ disadvantage ಏನು? What happens if there is some system error? What happens when people steal your money? People can now easily steal your money from your bank account. It's not like they need to physically remove cash. ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಹಾಕಬಹುದು. Do you know there is a story in that also? We call that a salami transaction. Have you heard about that? ಪೈಸೆದಲ್ಲ. In our normal information technology terms, we call that a salami technique. Okay. This also is a very true story. Okay, this actually happened. I don't know whether it happened in India or not, because I've heard that it happened in Singapore somewhere. I don't exactly remember where it is, but yes, it doesn't matter. What happened was, bank had appointed one engineer who was supposed to create a core banking software to the bank. Okay, obba engineer annu appoint ಮಾಡಿ core banking ಅವರ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ? You need to just put in codes over there. We don't know about it because we are not software professionals. We are accounting professionals. Software professionals will know this. Okay, there are different mechanisms, there are technicalities involved. If at all you ನಿಮ್ಮ PU time ಅಲ್ಲಿ computer science was your subject, you might have listened to these terms called as source code, application code. ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು. I think we have heard about that. Allah, computer science. Even I was a computer science student when I did PU. There will be source code, application code. Source code andre the creating code. Application code andre a software alli run aguva code. There are different codes involved. Bidi. Ee jana ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ? Source code ಇವನೇ create ಮಾಡುದು. The engineer creates the source code. Source code create ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಈ ಜನ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, now whenever a transaction takes place, if you do the transaction, no problem, you will always do it on a round figure. But there are few transactions which bank does it for you. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ? ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಲೆವಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಡಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಯು, normally bank will do it in decimals. If they give you interest, they will give something like 1062.64. ಬರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಈ ತರ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ, they do something like that. ಸರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ 1062.64, 580.54 ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದು, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. 0.36 ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. This guy wrote a code in the software saying that whenever there is decimal or not two decimals, one decimal, ಈಗ 36 ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ ಈ 6 ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ 0.06 ಇದನ್ನು ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಕೋಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, 2 decimals ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟಿಲ್ 2 decimal, ಇಟ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ಆಸ್ ಸೂನ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಆಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕೋಡ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಟನ್. ಅದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಿಡಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ. ದಿ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ನೋ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೇ 50,000.36 ಇರುವುದೀಗ 50,000.30 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿಲ್ ಯು ಕೇರ್? ನೋ. ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ? 0.36, 0.30, 6 ಪೈಸೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಮಾರೆ? ಯು ವೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. He also knew that. That is normal human tendency. Maduva hage, he started doing it. This software got installed in the system, started. And sir, 0.06 ಏನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಷಯವ ಸರ್? ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಮಹಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಒನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಸಿಗುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು? SBI ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, SBI ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. SBI itself has got billions of customers. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಿನ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವಿ ಮಾಡಿಯೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ. Which means over a period of time, this guy started earning like hell. Aram se on accounting birth down to bank cannot raise that. Okay, so bank cannot trace the account because there are many accounts which you can create on a secret basis. What about tax? This guy is evading. This is illegal. You can't take somebody else's money. It's stealing. Tax bidi. Tax be either legal money or illegal money. Sikki bidre tax katlebek. That is different. But my point is, this is secret. No one knows. Only this guy knows which is that bank account and how the amount is coming in. He is using that money. Aram se. Because he is the only person who has created the software. None of them know it. Bank professionals idu ella gottirudilla avara software ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರವೇ one of the thing what we tell the bank people is know the software properly and at least appoint a person who would know the software properly. ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟವ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗಂತೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. If you ask me, if I am the bank manager of that bank, I wouldn't know it. ನಂಗೆಂತೂ ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟು ಎಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ನಂಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. IT ಟೀಮ್ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ. ಅವರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಜನ ಗಮ್ಮತ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹ್ಯಾಕರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ ಉಂಟು ಹ್ಯಾಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ later it kept on going on and on and on. Ultimately ಈ ಜನ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಬಿದ್ದ. ಹೇಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಬಿದ್ದ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅತಿ ಆಸೆ ಆಯ್ತು. He started coming to this also. ಅವ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ಗೆ ಸಹ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅತಿ ಆಸೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ he wouldn't have been checked at all. ಬಟ್ ಅತಿ ಆಸೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೂಡ ತಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅವಾಗೇನಾಯ್ತು, ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ 50,000.00. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೂ ನನ್ನ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ 00 ಆಯ್ತು? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡುವವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಅದು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, 00 ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಯ್ತು? ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೋಡಿ ಈ ತರ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್, ಅದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಣ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. IT ಟೀಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಗೈ ವಾಸ್ ಕಾಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ರಾಡ್. ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಾಕರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಂಬ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. CCTV ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್. ಇದು ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್, where they tend not to come in radar at all. So these are the ways in which people try. Exactly. Many times they get caught because of greed, because they feel they are invincible. They feel that once they are not caught, they will never be caught forever. That's never going to happen. Ultimately, they will be caught. But yes, ashtu varsha this guy enjoyed. Later, obviously, he was put behind bar, amount recovery, blah 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 stuff. Those things happen. But yes, ee tara agudu. So these are the ways in which the computerized mechanism is a disadvantage one. But yes, without computers we can't deal anything. Now we need computer. Manually ishtu transaction and bariyudu yaru. It's never going to happen. For example, Reliance Industries ka 1920 ka, is it possible to recover amount for every person? No, it's not. It's not possible. At least recover it and put it as a deposit in the bank, keep it as a insurance or something like that. Ashte. Ultimately, government recovery madu. Innenu madlike agudilla. You can't hand the money over to customers. Adu hoyte. Customers kainda hana hodad hoyte. Okay. Now, so basically, if I have to tell you, for example, 1920, Reliance Industries Limited has got a combined sales of around 3,10,000 crore. Idan manual books alli bariyudandre enta agtade. It's impossible. Only if it is computerized, you can store this much of data. Illadidre chance illa. So it is needed. But yes, you need a lot of mechanism altogether. So the reason I'm telling you these things are, as a chartered accountant, if you are in practice, think what is the need now for a chartered accountant. That's why we tell learn computers. You should know something about computers. ಇರದಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಂತ changed situation ಗೆ ನಾವು react ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. Good thing that now, because you have got Android phones and all, at least everyone has got an email ID. ನಮ್ಮ time ಅಲ್ಲಿ email ID itself used to become a huge thing. For example, in my ITT batch, there were few students for whom email ID was not there. ಅವ್ರು ಅವಾಗ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತವ್ರು. ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಅವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. So they had to create an email at that time. At least nowadays people all have it, because participant list noduವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ everything is ending with @gmail.com. So because of that, at least you have an email ID of yours. Another thing I want to tell you, this is just a tip from my end to you, it's not related to accounting and all. Have one formal email ID. Okay, have one formal email ID. It's always needed. ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುವಾಗ send it through a formal email ID. ಒಟ್ರಾಶಿ email ID ಇಂದ ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡಿ. If you already have it, then great. If you don't have it, please do it. Because ನಂಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ email ಬಂದಿದೆ, and that email has got an ID as barbie@gmail.com, something like that. Now what is that? You can't send a formal email to a person with that kind of IDs. It doesn't look good. So have one formal email ID. The problem is sigudilla. That's the major issue. Whenever you put something, you will always get a thing saying that it's already there, bring in a new one. It's already there, bring in a new one. Adrinda you may have to bring numbers, that, this and all. Number hakuvaga kuda jagrate. Otrashi number haklik hogbedi. 007 ella beda. We will not become James Bond now. But when you put number, also put a formal one, so that once the person reading the email will get a glimpse or get a mindset that this person is serious and is formal in nature. ನಿಮ್ಮದ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಟ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನ್ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಐಡಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ದಟ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಒನ್ ಅಸೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್. Okay, remember the password of that. All these things are very much needed for you in future, because most of the time you apply everything through electronic mode. You don't do it through physical nowadays. Ella electronical agutte, especially in articleship places of Bangalore and all. For asking leave, you have to send an email to the partner saying that I want leave from such and such date. So, and they will approve through email itself, and it will be a written evidence. So that's very, very important. So email in the new email kalsuvaga sa jagrate madi. Emails are always a written evidence. It can be produced in the court. So emails are something which could be produced in the court of law. So therefore you have to be very, very serious when it comes to email. Email writing itself is a big task. You will learn them when you come to orientation and all. But yes, I just wanted to tell, because you have to know these things when you come out to the practical world. Okay. So these are the aspects which we have covered up from the company's point of view. So systems are needed. Computerized accounting is totally allowed. There is no problem with that. Everybody can follow the computerized mechanism. Chalo. Then later, so company start aitu. Company is doing its day-to-day life. Company is maintaining its books of accounts. Company that year has ended. ಆ ವರ್ಷ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? You have to finalize the books of accounts. The company should finalize the books of accounts and create something called as financial statements. All the adjustments should be recorded, all prudential norms should be applied, all these things will be done. Ultimately, they have to create financial statements. Okay, financial statements alli ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ for a company? Number 1, you will have balance sheet. Number 2, you will have statement of P&L. It's not P&L account. When it comes to company, it's always a statement. So statement of P&L. Then there is something called as cash flow statement, which was there in the syllabus if you remember. Then you have got something called as statement of changes in equity. Statement of changes in equity. And ultimately explanatory notes. these are the aspects of financial statement. So financial statement, the first thing we need is balance sheet of the company. Then we need statement of profit and loss, then cash flow statement, then statement of changes in equity, and finally explanatory note. Okay, explanatory notes and now disclosures on the curriculum. So these are the requirement of a financial statement. Company has to prepare the financial statement. We CAs go there and audit it. Now ಅದನ್ನು ಹೋಗಿ audit ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Audit ಅಂದ್ರೆ checking. You have huge thing. Auditing ಗೆ definition ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಂಟು. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. But audit ಮಾಡುದು ultimately we sign the financial statement. We give our audit report. We call that as independent auditor's report. And our job will be over for that year. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ extra information ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ, as I've already told you before, you attend the AGM, take the mic, tell in front of the shareholders. So those are the requirement of we being the auditor. If a financial statement prepare madlikke, this is the disclosure requirement. When financial statements are supposed to be prepared, they have to prepare according to the format created by the Companies Act. Companies Act has provided the format to create the financial statement. Adu yelli sigatte? We get that in Schedule 3. Schedule 3 of the company law specifies the financial statement format. And I think I told you this in accounting standard session that the Schedule 3 is divided into two types. One, division A, division B. So one division is applicable for companies following Ind AS, Indian Accounting Standard. The other one is applicable for company following normal AS. Nimma foundation allu, if I remember, they have given a format of balance sheet, isn't it? End alliya ena kottaage nenpu nange. Super. So that financial statement, what you see, which starts from equity and liability, then it is broken up into, it is divided into shareholder fund, then share capital, reserves and surplus, blah, blah, blah. Then you go with assets, non-current assets, divided into 5 to 6 types, then current asset. Idella enu, idu normal AS ka format. Ind AS has got a different format. Ind AS alli ನೀವು balance sheet ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, they give you a totally different format. Okay, Ind AS alli it starts with assets itself, then it goes to liabilities. So there are different way in which the company law has set. Idu balance sheet. Then P&L, statement of P&L, where you need to prepare a statement for the profit and loss instead of an account. Again, normal AS has got a specific format. Ind AS has got a specific format because Ind AS alli extra information tumba kodlikke untu. There is comprehensive income, other comprehensive income, etc., etc. There are so many things which covers in Ind AS. Okay, then cash flow statement. Cash flow statement talks about inflow and outflow of cash. Yake idan specify ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, statement of P&L is done according to accrual basis. ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, that books of accounts of a company should and must be prepared according to accrual concept. So therefore, statement of P&L will also be an accrual concept itself. But if anybody wants to know what is the cash requirement during the year, that is said in cash flow statement. It's an financial statement, yes, it's also an analytical object. Analysis ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ cash flow statement ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Because ಎಷ್ಟು working capital ಅನ್ನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು working capital ಅನ್ನು shift ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, invest ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, assets purchase ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, all these decisions can be taken through cash flow statement. Statement of changes in equity. In a year, how equity shares has got changed. Adan helike, there is statement of changes in equity. Normally not applicable to many companies. It's applicable to only those companies to which Ind AS will apply. Avaru matra idan prepare ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಉಳಿದವರು normally prepare ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Then comes explanatory notes. For every element you write in financial statement, if at all there is a need to give further information, they have to prepare a note. Example, if you have prepared a financial statement, balance sheet and all, share capital, you write note number 1. and then you prepare the note for share capital if at all you have done it. In ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it's fine. Notes to accounts, correct. So adella explanatory notes ali bartade where they have to tell each and everything should be specifically said to these people. Nimma studies ali you give very small notes, practically they explain each and everything should be explained, otherwise shareholders will not understand what is going to happen. All right, so this is about the financial statement mechanism for a particular company. Idannu audit maadi, then auditor will come out with his audit report. Audit report alli they will tell either it is a clean report or it will be qualified report or adverse report, disclaimer reports, etc., etc. There are different reports an auditor can give depending upon the circumstance. So our audit procedures annu adopt madkondu they tend to check it up, and it's the duty of the auditor to check each and everything. Try to check each and everything. He cannot check each and everything. For example, Reliance has got a turnover of 3.5 lakh crore. One auditor can't check it. Avana hatra bekadre 100 jana staff irli, it's tough to check. Alli avaru checks anta untu. In auditing, we have got something called as auditing standards. We have to apply and follow the standards, and according to standards we derive our conclusion. So accordingly we come and sign that. Okay, so idella as an auditor now maduva kelsa. So that is our one of the traditional job of CA. Old traditional job is practice signing capacity. Instead of that, being a CA, if at all I want to join a company for work as an executive, you can do that also, no problem at all. But if you go to that position, your signing authority won't be there. Namatra signing authority irudilla. So the only people who is a CA under practice is the only person who has got signing authority. Others will not be having the signing authority. Okay, so law has specified who can be the auditor, blah 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 stuff. All these things are supposed to be followed, and accordingly they can come out and specify their requirement. Now, this financial aspect in that AGM is one aspect. Other than that, idanella merge madkondu a company will provide something called as an annual report. Okay, idanella merge maadi. Financial things are one, management things are the other, board of director things are the other. There are so many aspects. Idanella combine madkondu they give a shareholder something called as an annual report, and preparation of annual report is compulsory for each and every company. AGM ಒಳಗಡೆ annual report prepare ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ approve ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ distribute ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Shareholders will read the annual report. According to that, they come back and they start questioning the company if they have any doubts. Otherwise, they will take up that annual report, they make their decisions, and they go back home. So these are the procedural aspects what a company has to follow. Idu day-to-day process. Idu bittu there can be different other processes a company can go with, like they have a merger. Merge aguva chances ide. For example, Vodafone and Idea got merged recently. So now these two companies are a merged company. This is once in a while decision what a company can take. Or acquiring another company. Yeah, now because of that it became VI. Acquiring another company. Acquiring another company andrenu go and buy their shares. Acquiring has got different meaning. Go and buy their shares. You become the holding company. You just become the holding company. Ho gaya na. Flipkart acquired Myntra. They just went and purchased the holding shares of the company. Ho gaya. Different ways in which it works. For example, which one is that? There was a company, yeah, L&T. L&T company, L&T, there is a company called as L&T, right? Yeah, Walmart acquired Flipkart, correct. L&T untala, L&T went on with the takeover, and L&T initially wanted to have a normal takeover, but they did not. But The directors did not agree. Then L&T had a hostile takeover. Have you heard about something called as hostile takeover? So what do you mean by hostile takeover? Without approaching the management, they directly go and approach the shareholders. Simple example, I want to buy your company. Okay, idella interesting. These are very interesting. I will not go too detailed into it. I just want everyone to know some common concepts of company. Okay. Yeah. So basically, what happens is, I want to go and purchase a company. Hegagate? My board will approach the target company board. They start negotiating. Price alla negotiate ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Ultimately, they say yes. They sign it. Accordingly, they work. This is what Idea and Vodafone did. Both the board of directors approached. They decided what could be done. Then each of the company approached their shareholders. They have passed a special resolution. Then ultimately they got merged. There are legal procedures which they have to follow. They followed it. Ho gaya. L&T approached, I don't know the target company. My memory is becoming weak day by day. But L&T approached a target company. The company board said no. Nange beda. This is not needed. Target company said, I am not ready. So ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದೀಗ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಬೈ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೀ ವಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಓಕೆ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಡ್ ನೋ ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು L&T ದೇ jacked up the price of the consideration they directly approached the shareholder. Let's assume that the market price of these shares are 300 rupees. L&T went and said I will pay 600 rupees. Every shareholder will say okay, double the price sikta untandre yaar bidtare. Everyone will say okay. If they say okay, ho gaya kaam. Without board's approval, the other company is going to buy the company. Idan now hostile takeover anta karitare. Hostile ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಒಂಥರ ಕಿಡ್ನಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ company tries to go for acquisition. Especially whenever there are competing companies, this is what they do. Competing companies adre obviously the other company won't agree for this company. Yen madodagare hostile takeover madodu. So these are the strategies what these company try to involve themselves into. Okay, then when it comes to financial statement, yes, this one thing I left out. When it comes to financial statements, okay, there are two types of financial statements we call. Okay, one second. This is how they took over Arthip's channel. I think yes. I did not go through the way the transaction took place. Maybe yes. I'm not sure. Okay. Financial statement wise, okay, there are two types of financial statement we call. One is called as standalone financial statement. The second one, okay, open market share purchase, then fine. Correct. It's a hostile takeover. Standalone financial statement. Second one is called as consolidated financial statement. Okay, there are two types of financial statement in that regard. One is called as standalone, one is called as consolidated. Meaning in, sir, what is the meaning of standalone financial statement? What is the meaning of consolidated financial statement? Standalone financial statement andre only that company financial statement is called as standalone. ಆ ಕಂಪನಿದು ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡುವುದಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಲೋನ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಸಾಲಿಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕನ್ಸಾಲಿಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪನಿ along with its subsidiaries. If at all my company has got subsidiary company or companies, I merge all the companies together, we call that as consolidated. Reliance Industries Limited giving its own company's financial statement is standalone. Reliance Industries Limited along with its subsidiaries combined together, if a financial statement is given, other now consolidated anta karitare. Both financial statements are compulsorily be produced. Choice illa. both of them should and must be produced. Okay, now if you look into the annual report, you will find all these things. For example, I think I have downloaded Reliance Industries ka financial statement. I'll quickly show that to you. Yes. Yeah, everybody can see the screen. Okay, if at all you can see this also. If you see the number of pages, people, Reliance Industries Limited 1920 1920 annual report has got 438 pages. Additionally, I have just opened financial statement page betray. They have got 438 pages as their total annual report. So they give each and every information about their company, what happened in the last year, the director's requirement, who are the directors of the company. Everything will be given in the annual report. You need not just check Reliance, you can check any company. Listed company, they have to produce annual report to public. So anybody can see. You just have to Google it and check it out. Ashte. Okay. Check here. Annexure 2 anta heli kedage bardidare. Enu to the independent auditor's report of even date on the standalone financial statement of Reliance Industries Limited. So this is the auditor's report given for standalone financial statement. Idu auditor report. Ultimately, they will write who is the audit firm. There are joint auditors to this particular company, DTS and Associates LLP, SRBC and Co LLP. So these are the two auditing firms, and these are the two auditors who is signing this financial statement, TP Oswal and Vikas Kumar Pansari. Their membership number, everything will be mentioned. Okay, so this is how typically an audit report will be given. Adrili opinion anta kodtare, where it tells whether there is any adverse opinion or normal opinion, etc., etc. Then this is the balance sheet of the company. And check everything is in crore. Mele bardidar nodi, every rupees in crore anta bardidare, which means property, plant and equipment of the company is 2,97,847 crore. So that is the total property, plant and equipment available with Reliance Industries Limited. And for Reliance, since it is a listed company, we have already discussed, Ind AS will apply, and this is how Ind AS financial statement will come. First is assets, non-current assets, it goes on. Then comes equity and liability. So this is how balance sheet will be prepared. See the numbers. Just see the numbers. The total value of the company is 9,68,912 crore. That's the worth. And this is signed by the chartered accountant. So see the responsibility what a chartered accountant will have to sign this. Just imagine if you are in that place, your name is put in over there, partner and your membership number. Everyone knows about membership number, right? What is a membership number? Exactly. Once you become a member, okay, I'll just tell you one thing. See, what happens is once we finish our CA final, we are not being given any number as such. Okay, CA final clear agamele. If there are any procedural aspects which we have to finish all these things, and ultimately we have to apply to the ICAI saying that all formalities are done. A unique number will be provided by the institute for us. And normally that number will be continuous in order. Order continuous irtade. Andre 00001 ಹೇಳಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಶಿಪ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದದ್ದು. Now there are 6 digit numbers provided. So 000001 was the first membership number provided. It keeps on going. And ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ CA establish ಆದದ್ದು? ICA got established through CA Act. There is a Chartered Accountants Act, and it was established somewhere in 1949. It got established in 1949. Allinda start adu to give membership number. Okay, Allinda start adu for the people who clear it. Yes, 1st July 1949 is the day of Act. Correct. Allinda start adu to give membership number to chartered accountants who have cleared it. Okay, ಈಗದ್ದು membership number ನಾನು ನೋಡುದಾದ್ರೆ I think it is yet to cross 3 lakh. It is yet to cross 3 lakh. Or it has crossed, I don't know exactly. It is yet to cross 3 lakh. Yes, there are so many CAs. Exactly. My membership number is 240290. My membership number is 240290. Okay. Andre, just imagine, for these many people in India, there are only 3 lakh chartered accountants, not more than that. Okay, each attempt, how many CAs might have come? You never know. So that's how it is. That means I am 240290 CA. Correct. That is my number. Exactly. Adontara roll number idda hage. Obviously, nanna attempt alli pass adavaru, there will be what? 5 to 10,000 people might have passed. 5 to 10,000 people might have passed along with me in that particular attempt. But still, nan apply maadi nange siguvaga I got this number. One of my friend got somewhere before 240015, something like that. That person have got. So this is the range in which we have got it. Okay, that's how important it is. That's how that's the way in which it works. There is one CA in Udupi area and all who has got a membership number of 007 something like that. Andre, they are 7,000 chartered accountant of the country. See the way in which they might have worked. So there are so many things which work. So it's very, very proud feel that we are only in that elite group. There are no many people to that extent. Okay, so you have to feel really good about it. So basically 3 lakh chartered accountants helidru. Initial chartered accountants are very old now. Illi check maadi membership number, see the membership number over here. I normally do that. The first partner has got a membership number of 30848 and second 93649. That's their membership number. Andre enayitu, automatically these are old CAs. They are old CAs. So each attempt, if you think about it, it's very less. So that is the thing, that is the challenge what you can pose yourself with. So alli neevu bandu illa I will do it heli, if you come out, it's awesome, because very few people are along with you and you will be in that elite group what other people think of. So that is where you should think, that is where you should plan, that is where you should dream of to become. So adu barlike there is a huge steps involved. You are just started it. There is inter, there is final, there are so many things. But if you are focused enough, starting from today, day 1 till you finish it, you are focused enough, you can also join that elite group. The group join agbeku has to be in my mind. No matter what, I have to join over there. Event or a vishya talali run agta idre, at that time there is no one to stop you. Everybody will be there along with you to do that for you. So you have to do it. No matter what, you have to do it. You will find different barriers, you will find different problems. Nothing doing, I will do it for sure. That has to be the mindset. For that, focus is needed. That focus you have to keep. That energy you have to keep. I'm very happy that there are many people who give so much of energy to it. Keep up that same energy level, which is very, very important one. It's very much needed. And I will tell you one more thing. Now, not just your knowledge will help you. Obviously, knowledge will help you to clear CA. It's needed. It's the core thing for us. Knowledge is to new professionals, knowledge people. That's the core thing which everybody has to have. Along with that, also try to cultivate communication habit. Communicate ಮಾಡುವಂತ habit ಅನ್ನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ try ಮಾಡಿ, practice ಮಾಡಿ. I'm not telling you that you should talk in front of 1,000 people, 5,000 people and all. I'm telling formally if you have to talk to someone, you should know how to talk. Friends hatra ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಬೇರೆ. Formally talking to someone is different. Try to have that thing. Say at least 30-40 people ಎದುರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, 50 people ಎದುರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. You have to cultivate this habit also. Because a lot of time, one of the things what they tell to CAs, CAs are only good for books. They are not good for communication. This is the thing what everybody thinks of. But no, now CAs are needed to talk as well. You communicate madadidre, again the problem is there. So both of them should go hand in hand. You should have the knowledge. You should know how to give that knowledge to someone. So at that time, people will be good enough. Just think about it. For all the speakers who spoke over here, if at all you find that the person is not able to communicate properly to you, either you will stop that person or you won't listen to that person. As simple as that. It is in our day-to-day life. ಈಗ ಒಬ್ಬನು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, you listen to that person. ಯಾರು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, you won't listen to that person. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ even you also, once you are finished your CA, once you are doing something, company, practice, whatever it is, if I am not able to communicate in the way it should be communicated, the other person will never feel good about it. That's it. That's the only point. Adu agbeka, I should know how to do it. That is where communication comes in. I'm not telling you that you use Shashi Tharoor English and all. I'm saying just talk normally. Make sure that the person is able to understand what you are trying to say. That's it. Okay. Then the other skills will come out. Public speaking skills. It depends upon your area of interest. Few people are very, very interested for public speaking and all. They will do it. Otherwise, others won't do it. But that's secondary. That doesn't help you out. But initial basic communication skills are very much important for you as a student. ಈಗಲೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ, end ಅಲ್ಲಿ you will be at least good enough to do that, because it's not a single day process. It takes years together to master something. So try for that particular aspect. Okay. Now, so this is what I was telling you about how these things should come into the picture. So this is your P&L. This is statement of changes in equity, what I have told you before. Then you have got cash flow statement. Wait a minute. Cash flow statement is over. Yeah, this is your cash flow statement. In this way, company keeps on giving their financial statement. Once a cash flow statement ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ultimately check here. This is the significant accounting policies. These are the notes what they provide. Information ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Company, what are the accounting policies involved? ನೆನ್ಪುಂಟಾ foundation ಅಲ್ಲಿ there used to be a unit or something called as accounting policies karke. At that time when you listen to it, you will feel ha enidu accounting policy alla anta. But here you will understand that these are the important aspects what you have. Prati ondakku namma policy enu anta specify ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. They have to tell, see how lengthy they have written. These are the accounting policies what is involved there. Adada mele they start giving notes. See, from here on they start giving notes. So this is how typically a financial statement will be given. Now, this is listed company. It will be huge. Small companies also will do something like this itself. But these are the things which you have to cultivate once you come to Inter. Interally, we never learn Ind AS financial statement. We learn normal AS financial statement, but almost in the same way. We have to know these things. So once you finish your foundation, when you come to Inter, these are the things which we'll try to learn. Okay. So with that, these were some of the disclosure aspects of a company which I wanted to convey, that they prepare financial statement, they bring that up in the AGM, they show it to the shareholders check it, cross question it if needed, ultimately it's accepted, they move to the next year. And it's a process which will keep on going on and on and on till company liquidates and it closes. Alliya tanaka, this is a compulsion which every company should and must have. All right. So this is the requirement overall for a company. Once you finish your foundation and come to the inter level, we'll talk about some technical accounting aspect where journal entries and ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, four feature ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ journal entries ಬೇಕು. These are some of the intro level which is needed. Then as I've told you in my previous session, the topic in relation to companies under inter, whereby we talk about preference share, debenture, then cash flow statement, financial statement, etc., etc. All those things will come over there, and one by one we have to learn. Advanced accounting is mainly towards company ka different aspects. Over there also we'll learn about companies. Then come to CA final, 100% companies you have to learn. Then bring it up in our exams, clear that exams, and end it up. Right? So this is something which you will try to face in future. So in that, as I've already told you, two things you have to cultivate the habit. Number one, start observing things, start understanding these things. Few of them we understand, few of them we don't, but have that interest to know. Number one. Second, have some computer knowledge and communication knowledge. Try to see some things in computers, try to look into it. Excel alla kalilike try ಮಾಡಿ. Obviously I've got ITT where you will learn in detail about it, but still these are some of the tools which is very much needed for our articleship life, like MS Excel and all, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, then Tally. These are the things which are very much needed, especially Excel. It's like bread and butter for a CA. So you have to know these things. Try to just look into it. Cell, how a formula is placed over there. Intadella nodta hodre, once you are in articleship, things becomes very easy, and it can move further from there. Okay, so with that, I think we have almost come to the end of it. So my session, I was just supposed to give you some introductory remarks when it comes to accounting, and I hope that everyone clears over here, and I will see you again as inter students, where we will sit together and put our head and start learning in detail about each and every aspects of accounting related to group 1 and group 2. Let's hope that we again meet up as soon as possible and have a good session all together. Okay, all the best for your results. All the best for your results. Just make sure that you stay focused all the time, and let's meet soon once the results are out. I want party from everyone at the same time. Let's sit and have a hardcore studies, and let's make sure that we finish this as well. Okay, so enjoy the rest of the day. So all the very best. We will not be meeting again as bridge course people. We will meet again as inter-level people. Okay, so let's come to that conclusion. Let's see you as chartered accountants as soon as possible. Chalo, tata. Let's meet up sometimes later. Okay, I will close the session. Yes, thanks a lot. I will close the session then. Enjoy your other sessions.